Okay, the topic that we have to see today is device drivers from chapter number 2. As you already know, what are the drivers? So basically, device drivers. Whenever you say any device drivers, driver is basically a software. The software which actually runs or plays that particular device that is normally called as a device driver. If you see this particular slide, then you will find the role of a driver here. The device is actually driven by this driver. Then this driver is actually loaded, or you may say controlled, or whenever any user wish to perform any application. Say for a simple example, I'll say if you want to just burn a CD-ROM or a DVD, then in that case the user put actually its CD or DVD into its drive. Then immediately that if you say if you want, then you select the application. That application actually being application invokes or this application actually call the operating system or operating system actually initiate the start that particular application, and through that application user set certain parameters, and those parameters are actually given to the driver through operating systems. And whatever the user is continuously interacting with that particular device, but that interaction, that physical device and user interaction takes place through your operating system and device driver. So in other words, you can say operating system is always in contact with your device drivers. So whenever you say device drivers, probably if any device connected to your computer or a laptop, if it is not working, the very first cause is that the device driver may not be installed, or may not, that might have been corrupted, or that you require to have a new device driver is required. So mostly, see, device drivers are normally provided on CDs. Nowadays, this also stopped. You will find that all the device drivers nowadays, it is available on the website. That is actually the manufacturer's website, and you can very easily locate it nowadays with the help of Google. It was a very problematic in earlier days. Once you lost the floppy or CD or maybe that, then it was very difficult to get the driver for that particular device or for that particular specific computer. Now, if you see, most of the times your device drivers are stored in a file that is C drive Windows System 32, where most of the drivers are automatically installed. Or whenever you install this file, actually computer configures those drivers into this particular folder. So here in this, you can very easily say here application is a Google Chrome. This Google Chrome is started by the user. Then Google Chrome actually interacts with the operating system, that is Windows. And then whatever you need, or even if you say here, if you wanted to copy something or load something from certain driver, then those instructions are passed on through operating system to the respective device through its driver. So now the definition is that what is device driver basically? It is normally called as a driver or a device driver, or most of the times one may say it is a hardware driver. So device driver is a group of files that enables one or more hardware device to communicate with the computer operating system. That means without a device driver, you cannot communicate with the computer. That is very essential. So without driver, the computer will not be able to send and receive the data correctly to the hardware devices. For example, if you want to take a output, or if you want to print one document from a printer, and if a printer driver is not installed, then whatever the number of times you give the print through your Word document, that signal will not go to the printer. Or if that is wrongly installed, then in that case also you will not get a print output from the printer. But correct driver is printed, is installed, then even if you just say print, immediately the data will go to the printer and you will get that expected copy of the printout. then most which devices actually needs the driver. So there you can say the devices which are unknown to the operating system, or sometimes there is certain additional features of the device which is unknown to the operating system. In all such a cases, you need to install a driver. What happens most of the times, you have a driver, but that could be an old driver. And if the new device is coming, and normally new device is supported with the old drivers also, but additional features may not be run by using old driver. So in that case, you need to update your driver, or what we call as a freshly, you have to install the new driver. So here and now you are much familiar with the, because of the mobiles and all these, updating the drivers or updating your softwares or maybe updating applications. You are more familiar with. So now this problem is nowadays, I will say, relatively easy. But what are the device drivers you need? Probably card reader, controller, modem, motherboard, chipset, network card, printer, scanner, sound card, tape drives, USB devices, video card, webcam, wireless network card. So you know that these are the physical or peripheral devices. And to run these peripheral devices, every devices has got its own driver. Normally, this driver is written by their own manufacturers. And if that is correctly installed, then you will not have any problem in working, or this device will smoothly work with this if it is properly installed. Then another question, which devices may not need a driver? Most of the times you will find that today's operating systems are so sophisticated that within 3 or 4 clicks entire operating system is installed. Now whatever the normally used devices like keyboard, mouse or hard disk, then monitor, RAM, all these devices has got their own generic drivers. Those generic drivers are available with the operating systems. So these devices, even for any computer, no operating system will ask for you the driver of a hard drive, or it will not ask you the driver for monitor, mouse, or keyboard, because these drivers are as a part of operating system, they are available with this. And those drivers are normally called as a generic drivers. But if you have a one specialized type of monitor or specialized type of keyboard, then in that case you need to install that particular driver to take the benefit of any special facility available with that, or any specific feature that is available with that particular device. So you have to install that particular driver. So these are the generic drivers. Probably for this, you will not require any specific drivers, because generic driver is already present as a part of your operating system. Let us say if a driver is not installed, what will happen? If appropriate driver is not installed, then obviously device may not function properly, or some of the device may work, but all the features of the device may not work. For Microsoft Windows users, missing drivers may cause a driver conflict or error, and that is normally shown in the device manager. So at the end of the lecture, I'll show you how to update or install your devices through device manager. Then installing the latest driver for the hardware can take full advantage of the device. So it is always better, like what you do in mobile, you always keep your update application updated. So similarly, you also see that the drivers are updated periodically, and they are the latest drivers for your devices. Then next is how I can locate a software or drivers for my computer. So here you'll have to determine the your hardware. Obviously, this is a common problem for anyone, that which is my driver or how I can find my driver. So best way to find out the driver, you should know what is the device, what is the name of the device, who is the manufacturer of that device, and what is the model of that device if it exists. Then it becomes nowadays very easy. You have to just go to the Google, put the manufacturer's name, put their model, and immediately at least 4 5 sites will be shown to you where that particular driver will be available. it is better that you should go to the manufacturer's own website and try to download from this instead of downloading from any other locations. Most of the times, if you try this, you might have experienced that one, if you say I want to download certain drivers, they may say that this driver is available, link will be given, but when you click, that will take to somewhere location, that will take to third and fourth, and in this way नंतर तुम्ही तिथे फिरतच राहाल, पण finally you will not find a actual driver. So it is better go to the manufacturer site, or some reliable sites are there where you can also get these drivers from third party websites drivers. So here drivers for an mostly, as I said, all the drivers, if you take any computer, maybe 2 years before or 3 years before, normally one CD or CD-ROM or DVD is normally supplied with your computer or with the laptops, which gives all the required drivers into it. But nowadays, as I said, no manufacturer gives any types of drivers or DVDs. Even your operating system DVDs are not given to you. You will find that they say that this is a license. You take this particular license, download the operating from the this particular website, which may be of 500, 600 MBs like that, or maybe in terms of GBs also. You download that, and you most of the times, if you see our computers which are in the college, there you will find these are their operating systems or softwares are preloaded. Preloaded, I mean one driver is there on that particular hard disk. Those softwares are actually preloaded, and as and when we require to install, or we have to say update, instead of saying update, if there is any corrupt your operating system and you have to repair that, you can repair that from preloaded softwares. This is also located on CD or DVD provided with the computer, as I said. Most of the times, if you want to find your driver, it will find in the download section or download location of the website. It is also available with the third party companies, which has a stack of all the they do keep the drivers of different manufacturers of a different versions or different a different version, I mean different make or of this. When I say CD-ROM or a DVD or a Blu-ray release like this, if there is any progression or a changes in the model, for that matter, if you say network card, you will find thousands of network cards are there. When you want to select a proper network card, you need to know the net manufacturer, model as well as its number. Then only you can very easily find out that particular driver. The next case is how to install and update a device driver. So it is very easy for you to nowadays. Again, most of the times, if a install file, कोणाचा microphone चालू असेल तर please बंद करा. Now see, whenever we say install or update, if you want to install a driver, and if that file is available in the form of setup file or exe file, where window almost 90% Windows drivers are given with the help of .exe file or setup file. If you just run that particular setup file, because it's auto executable file, it automatically executes, installs, and it asks certain questions and automatically installs the things, and after rebooting, everything becomes all right. This is the but for that you need to know which is exe file. You need to know which correct exe file you have. Let us say if you want to install your video graphic card or a network card, then in that case, for that modem or your web camera, then in that case you should know which is that particular exe file amongst the available on your DVD file. So you can very easy, best way is to mark all these files, or best way is to put all these drivers into certain folders, and as and when you format your machine, and then if you need require to reload these particular drivers in say half an hour, you can install almost all the drivers even if you require. Most of the time, sometimes the driver files instead of exe file, these are available in INF files. If these INF files are there, then in that case this is mostly on your CD-ROM. then you have to give the correct path for this, and then you can then install this. Then thirdly, you can also have those files available in zip file. Then you have to uncompress and you have to give. Nowadays, most of the times it is also possible to install a driver online. So you can take a, if that facility is available, they will ask you to search this particular driver online. You can go to driver searching that driver online. Most of the times, that software automatically detects which device you have, and automatically it gives you the list of drivers. You have to select one of the drivers from this and you can install. So I mean here, in recent year, installing a device driver is no longer a difficult task. But certainly, if you do not know the exact file, then it is definitely you have to take the help of someone, or you have to Google it. I mean, you have to search it, you have to find it, you have to make certain trial and errors, and then after installing, if once you remember, then next times your problems are automatically sorted out. Next is downloading and installing a driver. That means how to install and update a device driver. Of course, you have to install, download, and then install. Then number, as I said, put a device name, model name, and then you go on search on Google. If you find the executable file, you get the executable file. If you find some other types of files, then you have to download that particular file. And then through device manager, or by clicking that particular file, or by unzipping that particular file, you can automatically install your softwares. Most of the time .msi file is there, .exe file is there, .inf file is there, or some this type of drivers is normally, these files are normally called as an device driver. Now suppose if you install a driver, and if you want, if that is not working, then in that case, if you want to uninstall the driver, you can always uninstall the driver by taking the help of device manager. So go to the hardware and sound device manager option, just select that particular device, say uninstall, confirm. If you want to remove that particular, you can remove it, and then again this uninstallation or removing that device drivers will be complete. Now see, this is the way how you can, device manager can update or uninstall this. Actually, I will show you on my machine how you can uninstall or install a drivers, and how, what are the different options available with you. Like here it is shown update driver, disable device if you don't want to work with that particular device, or uninstall a device, or scan for hardware changes. That means if there is any drivers is there, and if it is showing certain error messages, you can ask the system to scan these hardware changes. If there is any change you made, or somebody accidentally made the changes, then system automatically checks its drivers, because their default location is already local, system knows. Then from that, if this is available onto your machine, it automatically updates your drivers, or it asks, or it may get it through the website. Now see what are the messages that you get while handling a device manager. If you are installing certain devices, on right hand side you'll find there are certain yellow. Whenever you have these yellow question marks in a device manager, that indicate that these drivers are not properly installed onto your operating system. So there you can go, either you can uninstall it, you can delete it, or you can again ask the system to update those particular drivers. And as long as this is not removed, that means this the particular device will not function. Then another is that if there is a red X symbol on in a device manager, if it is this type of symbol is shown to you whenever you open a device manager, and when you select that particular device, and if you get such a symbol, that means either that device is disabled, it is removed, or it is not a Windows, cannot locate the driver for this particular device. So you have to see, you have to search for that, you have to provide the actual drivers to the Windows, then it will read it, and then it can install and configure it. Another way is that here sometimes you will find device manager will show you unknown device, like whatever. Again here you will find here, this is unknown device. That means there is a device shows is there, but the driver of the device is not available. Then because of that, your operating system is unable to recognize that particular device, so it gives you the message what is called as unknown device. So here in this device manager you can view the list of hardware devices and what are installed onto your computers, and you can accordingly set the various devices. So this is all about the device drivers, because there is nothing as such. Whenever you say device drivers, if you have a software, you can install it. If it is not working, you have to update it. Now, how you can update this? So we'll see this. That is now how you can update this particular software. So here, let us say now I will just show you how you can go to your device manager. Okay, here you can search. I'll just type here device manager. Okay, now here this is, it is actually giving you the slow response, but anyway, uh, okay, this is device manager. I'll just select that particular device manager. If you get this particular device manager, you will find here there is a list of devices which are installed to your system. Now this is giving you the configuration of my laptop. So whatever, if you see this here, then these are the different actions that you can see. What are the options you have under this? So there is a, you have to clean up or this file. These options normally will not be available. But I'll just do this. See now, this is audio input device. So which is a microphone? This is a Realtek high definition audio. Speakers is for Realtek high definition audio. That means these are the two drivers I should have, and this is automatically installed, so I'll not have any problems. But any driver, if I wanted to do, I can update that particular driver. I can disable, I can uninstall, and I can say scan for hardware changes. ओके, आता आपण इकडे आल्यानंतर when you can also see the properties, म्हणजे याच्यामध्ये ड्रायव्हर कोणता आहे, व्हॉट आर द ड्रायव्हर, त्याचा अपडेट करायचं गरज आहे का, ड्रायव्हरचे डिटेल्स काय आहे, तो डिसेबल करायचा का अनइन्स्टॉल करायचा का, त्या ड्रायव्हरचे डिटेल्स काय आहेत, कधी कधी तो वापरला गेलेला आहे, लाईक व्हेन इट इज इन्स्टॉल्ड अर्लियर, लाईक ऑल these events are actually stored into your operating system. So this is related to what I can say microphone. Similar is for speaker. This is for batteries. If at all कोणती बॅटरी आहे, this is in fact I have ordered for a new battery. This is the problem. When light goes off, my battery is not working now. So you have a problem when the light goes off. So very soon I'll get a new battery for my laptop. Then in about the computer, this is ACX. What is, which is a computer? So automatic configuration power interface x64 based PC. Then what are the disk drivers here? So here Winchester driver disk. This is USB multi-card device is there that support laptop has. Plus this is Winchester disk, that means hard disk, which is this type of hard disk. So this is a hard disk. Then display devices, Intel RSD graphics. What is the types of CD-ROMs? Maybe human interfaces, that is USB and other interfaces. Then here when it comes to what is a SATA. Now as I said here, this is already one you have one disk drives. So what are the supports of disk drives? And actual disk drives is ATA, IDE drives, that is the SATA drives I have on this particular machine. Then imaging devices, that is webcam, then keyboards, which type of it is installed. This is about mouse, this is monitor, and more importantly, this is the network card. It has got both the network card. One is the what we call the Ethernet controller card, another is a wireless card. Similarly, portable devices, if at all is there, that is iDrive. And if you have a pen drives and all this, then print queues you can define. So here actually your printers are installed, and if any here printer drivers are there. So these are all ready-made printer drivers. I don't have a printer at home, so no printer is installed onto my on laptop as such. Now it gives me the details of this i3 course. So these are, as I said, this is i3 course. So this is giving you the details of all these i3 machines. So you will come to know the configurations of my laptop as such. So here, what are the software devices are there? Sound and game controllers, maybe storage controller and system devices. So these are all the things that you will be able to see. But if you put this aside, then immediately you can collapse it or you can expand this as per your requirement. So this is what we can say. This is the device driver through which you have to install your drivers. So there is a difference between installing an application, installing an operating system, and installing a device drivers. Any device drivers you have to install, probably you will have to take the help of device manager. If not, if you have a MSI file or .exe file or setup files, then you don't require to come to this place also. You can automatically execute everything over there. So there are different actions. As I said, the same action you can also get for if you right click this, that is update drivers or uninstall these drivers. Even if I say if I have these particular drivers, but I can say update drivers and softwares. So it will search automatically for updated drivers, or it browse my computer for driver softwares. It can automatically locate also your devices, or otherwise if it doesn't find on this, then it will ask for the it will go on your website. So this is the way you can say search automatically for update device drivers. So it will go on searching this. Okay, I think this is the topics related to what I'm into say about. I'll just close this particular window. So now it is not coming out. Okay, anyway, if you have this type of problems, you can always use Control Alt Delete. Just if you want to stop these particular drivers. Okay, that stopped. Okay. So anyway, now at least how you have understood now how to start with the device manager. You can go through control panel, or you can in Windows 8. I think this is always best option is that here if you search this, you can always go through this here, and then you can search from here whatever you want. Even if you say control panel, you get control panel. From this control panel, we can go to anywhere. So these are the thing which I wanted to explain today. In fact, this is a very brief session, and in fact, I am going to stop here itself. If you have got any questions related to this, you can ask.